Okay, so this is the Bulldog bone. It's been reversed. The cotter pins have gone to the other side. You'll see two 1/2 inch nickel plated key rings put on up here and down here. I've yet to use them in a work environment to see about the possible advantages and disadvantages. I am aware that there is the possibility that either one or even both can get caught on myself or even a piece of the tree or my other climbing equipment. It's something I'm going to have to be aware of. I've just put on a piece of wire here for now, just as I try out different bollards. Right now, if I collapse the bone, you can see that I have the 1/4 inch bollard installed on there for now. So far in my testing on this Cougar orange rope, it seems to be the best one. The 5/8 I think it is inch bollard that came standard with this. It seemed to slip in some testing. I've yet to do further testing with it to see if I can improve that and make it not slip, but for now the 3/4 inch bollard seems to be the way to go. I've also, Gordon also drilled out this teardrop here, you see, and so I managed to fit the revolver through with the gate slipping through that hole. It can just fit and it's perfect. Thanks very much, Gordon. I installed this this steel holder that you can slip on the revolver when the gate is closed, and slip it right up where my thumb is crossing there and right up to the top to close in on the teardrop. It requires a lot of bending and twisting and elongation, and so you can slip it up there. Because the bone is reversed and these key rings are on there, it changes the way that you install it on the line slightly. I actually still install it on the line the normal way, which I'm going to try and do one-handed while holding my phone. And it's hard for you to see, but I'm trying to, the way that the keyring is on there now, it actually slightly changes the way that the rope slips around the pin. Let me see if I can do it one-handed, which I've never done one-handed before. It's hard for you to see, but the rope will actually now come up against the keyring slightly, so you have to sort of slip it by while flipping the keyring at the same time. Some might see that as a slight problem, but actually it sort of helps in a way, because you can now use that keyring to help pull it up over the rope. So now that's the top three. Let's get the bottom here. I'll use my other hand slightly. I apologise for the noise in the background. I live in a basement suite and that's the heater going on. I'm going to... okay, I'll have to edit this later. Okay, so now I'm going to try and install the Bulldog bone one-handed with the key rings, of course. You can see there and on the top there. Let's see. Okay. No, I can't really do it one-handed. Hey, there's a mirror. I don't want it to see me. Okay, right. Let's try and get this. No, it can't be done one-handed. You have to use two hands. Okay. Okay, the reason I have installed these two key rings on here and up here is because I feel that it might help the bone in the fact that like it will support this link up here more from swaying back and forth and just give it that added edge of strength. You can actually see the key ring engage, as it were, when I push that link to the side. So for me, that's helping keep it more in line with what it should be. Less twisting, everything more in line. I think would make greater strength. Let's see if the same happens with the bottom. It's harder to push the bottom one. I don't think it really matters too much there. It matters more up the top. Observations. Obviously, you push it and see where my thumb is there, and that's where the pivot point is right now. You can slide it up and down the rope, and even though there's friction on the top here and that 3/4 inch bollard, because the pivot point is where my thumb is there, it stops it from engaging most of the time. In other words, it makes it easier in a tending mode. If you're going up the rope, there's always a fine balance between tending, where there's no friction, and then engaging, where you want the friction. Just an observation which many have probably made and will still make in the future, that of course when your weight is down here and you pull on that of course first bends the rope down at the bottom here, where the rope goes over the lower friction link, and it pulls this here, the spine, down, which changes the top there and bends there. So when I pull down, the actual top actually stays where it is, and the lower friction link will just slide down an inch or an inch and a half, and that's it. You could put your full you could put your full weight on that, and I don't think you're going to go anywhere. I don't want to pull too much, otherwise I'll pull that pipe away. This is just for demonstration, and of course collapsing. I've actually got my foot on the rope just to help stop the rope pulling up, but it's still, even without my foot in the rope, I don't need that weight down there so much. I can pull it a little bit with my foot, and that helps straighten the ropes so it can slide right up. Engage. Thank you. Okay, let's just see the Bulldog bone engaging from a pivot point that you would have your weight on from the front here. So, as you can see, let's put my foot in the rope to help it go up and down. Sliding it up and down from the side here where you would not have your weight. Sometimes it still does engage, which isn't a bad sign because it can still easily slide up the rope. But to make it more reliably engage, you would have your weight where you would normally have it down at this point here instead of this point here. Back down here, let's slide it up the rope, and now if you slowly unweight it, yes, it still slides down the rope until a point when the slight friction here between this 3/4 inch bollard and the Cougar orange rope, 11.7mm, between this bollard, and that allows it to slightly grip the rope just enough that you can then see it bending the rope up the top here just enough that it holds it, and it is the bottom which slowly slides down there, maybe an inch, inch and a half, and as it slowly slides down there and bends the rope where my thumb is, it pulls back and further bends the top, just as a natural action. When you pull down here, it pulls back on this, it pulls that way, so it bends the rope further. Anyway, thank you.